Hey everybody, what's up? Sir Venom IK coming to you right now for the Tier 9 Friesland. This will be my final review. This will be my final review on the on the Friesland. This thing was given to me by Wargaming for purposes of this review and the testing, and they gave it to us while we were in the game. So thank you for that. I do appreciate it. Number one. Number two, the second thing about the Friesland, you can get this thing in the store right now for 1 million free XP. There you go. Get it in the armory, 1 million free XP. Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Number one, yes, it is. It is worth it. It is worth it 100%. It is worth it. Why? Because I said so. No, not just because I said so. Because it's a fun boat to play. It's very unique in its play style, and that's something that World of Warships hasn't had in a while. Is a unique play style. You got the French DDs; they play similar to the Russian DDs. You got the French cruisers play similar to the Japanese cruisers. A little bit of minute differences. The Germans, they all play the same. The Americans, they play quasi the same. You got the battleships. You got the Germans, and then you got the Georgia and Massachusetts. They kind of play the same. They have that same thing. But this is a very unique on its own play style. I don't think there's any other boat in this game that is like the Friesland. That it only has 2 guns. Now, there's some others with only 2 guns. 1.8 second reload base. And you're designed as a DD hunter. Now, how effective that's going to be is going to determine based on the person playing. Because 6.4 kilometers versus 5.5 kilometers of the Shimakaze, it's pretty different. It's kind of wild. And then plus, since you're tier 10, you're going to be going up against tier 9s and tier 8s. So you got 5.4 kilometers on the Ashio, the Kagero, the Yugamo, the Hashitaka. I mean, those boats right there are going to be the biggest problems for you trying to find them. But you do have some tools. To go along with that. I mean, you do have a 5-kilometer hydro. You got a pretty decently long smoke. You almost have American level smoke here, which makes it a very unique play style. You can play it somewhat like the German DDs, somewhat like that, where you could get up around islands and you can use your boat as a hydro boat and spot and let your team do the damage. And then when you have to, you can actually go into the caps and get the caps at 6.4. But just be wary of a couple of things here. Be wary of a couple of things. Number one thing that you need to be wary of is you do have some loop into these guns. So later on, when you're able to actually sit in that smoke and fire your guns, they are kind of loopy. So if you're firing your guns at DDs over 6 or 7 kilometers, be sure to aim it correctly, or you're not going to be very happy with this boat. Even though you can spit out a whole bunch of shells, if you can't hit any of them, well, how good is it? On the other hand, you do set a lot of fires, so the battleships be wary of this boat. When it hits that smoke and it starts raining down shells, it's just like the Smolensk and the Colbert. They're pretty nasty. It can be a pretty nasty experience for them. Overall, I give this thing about a 7 or 8. Probably let's go 7 3/4, and I'll give it the extra 3/4 because of the unique play style of not having torpedoes you know what. I'm going to go on a limb here and say this is the perfect boat for a new player. But, Sir Venom, what do you mean it's a perfect boat for a new player? You don't have torpedoes, so use your damn guns. What do you mean, Sir Venom? What do you mean this is a perfect boat for a new player? This is, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you right now, this is the perfect boat for a brand new player. Because how many times have you guys seen this happen? You're going into the cap. Here you go. Here's your enemy DD. You start shooting at it. It starts shooting at you. It stops to drop its torpedoes, and then that guy dies. And then they dodge the torpedoes and he doesn't get it out. You ain't got them. You can't just, I got to get my peens off here. So this boat is actually really, really good for a new player to learn how to use their guns. And forget about the torpedoes. Guys, I'm telling you right now, just forget about the torpedoes because you ain't got any on this one. Playing against this thing, it's not terrible. If it gets it in its smoke, it does have a 5-kilometer hydro, so you have to be wary about that. So maybe you spam it with torpedoes and to make it to where he's unavoidable. If you can push him out of the smoke, that's even better because then the cruisers will be able to fire in on that stuff. Overall, this boat is pretty good. I really like this one. 1 million free XP, highly recommended. Is this thing too strong? No. Is this thing too weak? No, it's not too weak. I think it's a pretty good boat. A good player is going to really make this thing shine, and a bad player is going to struggle, just like with any other boat. It's just another normal boat, but a very unique play style. Fleet escort. Go with somebody else. Be a partner DD. If you got a Shimakaze out there, roll with that Shimakaze, man. Protect that guy. Let him spot for you. If he spots, pop your smoke. Pop, 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 pop. Simple as that. I love you, man. We'll see you guys next time.